When there's something strange sitting on your dining room table that you never seem to use for anything other than geeky things, well, that means it's time to build the new LEGO Ideas Ghostbusters set, which includes Ray Stantz, Egon Spengler, Peter Venkman, and Winston Zeddemore minifigures. Just in time for the 30th year anniversary of the first Ghostbusters movie. Will I get slimed as I open the box? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags and the booklet. I got good news and bad news. The good news is I don't see any stickers. The bad news is these bags are not numbered. With bonuses in tow, this is much more than a set of directions. And here's the AFOL to thank. As many of you have suspected over the years, I am the Keymaster, which means it's my privilege to build the Ecto-1. Are you ready to help me, Gozer? No? Fine, I'll do it myself. This is set number 21108, the first one branded with the LEGO Ideas banner. It has 508 pieces, and for me was a rather quick build, around a couple of hours with me working alone. I'm usually not the type of person who separates the bricks by color before assembling the set, but since the bags weren't numbered, I really felt I had no choice. It was an efficient process, and I may end up doing it with future sets as well. I had some issues with smaller pieces towards the end of the build, but as you will see, it did come with a brick separator, which saved me some amount of time hunting for my other brick separators. I wasn't allowed to see the first Ghostbusters movie in theaters. I was way too young, and I have to say that my parents exercised discretion properly. However, years later, when Ghostbusters II was released, I ended up seeing that in theaters on my very first date. Granted, it was a chaperoned date, and I went with other friends, but still, it was my first date. I never got into the Ghostbusters cartoon series, nor did I collect any Ghostbusters action figures, but it was still a compelling story, enough for me to be very, very interested in this particular LEGO set, and certainly understand Ghostbusters and its place in our culture. I do remember listening to the original Ghostbusters movie soundtrack over and over and over again with my brothers, but really, that's about all the Ghostbusters memorabilia we had. For several years, there's been talk of another Ghostbusters sequel, but I'm not sure how they'd pull that off at this point, with Harold Ramis passing away, unfortunately. I suppose they could probably work him and or his character into the movie as the Ghost, which would be interesting, and I think would be paying honor to his memory. I have a feeling that LEGO will be producing far more nostalgic pieces in the future, given the likely success of this particular set. Who you gonna call? Done. I could not have expected better with these 4 minifigures. The only thing missing was Slimer.
We've got bonus faces!
I realize most fans wanted this set to build the car, but me, well, I'm a fan of minifigures, and really like the way that LEGO has this little stand that you can put together for all 4. If you'd like, you can attach the packs to each one of their backs, but I'd rather not. Just for demonstration purposes, I've attached one to Ray, and you can see on the other backs, they have their names right below their neck. WZ, PV, ES, RS. Their initials are on each one of their chests. That's how you can tell them apart. You know, apart from the hairstyles. And yes, the detail on the Ecto-1 is as good as you'd expect it to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for no stickers. From back to front to the top. Egon just replaced the windshield wipers. Nah, just kidding. Peter did. No, I'm trying to be clever and pointing out that it has windshield wipers. I'm probably way too excited about that. Well, I know, I'm going to tell him. You can remove the roof or stick the figures inside, which I'm probably not going to do. Still, it can be done. I ain't afraid of no dog. Except for when you bark and I'm not expecting it. It looks so naked without the roof. And the plastic hose with the roof on is accommodated quite nicely. And speaking of roof, I'd say the value for the set is through it. Even if you didn't grow up in the 80s, you can still enjoy it today. The link to where you can get your own and give me credit in the process is in this video's description. Thanks for your support.